Welcome back, Wolfpack Vrilla's here, and we have a crazy battle from my recent Pokemon Showdown having fun. And yeah, I lead with the Iron Defense on Klefki, and I get switcherooed into the Choice Band, which is incredibly unfortunate. So I decided to go for the Iron Defense, see what he's up to. He goes Dragon Dance, so I get scared, and I'm like, you know what? I don't need to deal with this anymore. I switch into Goodra, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can like get something done with this, but I'm not feeling too hopeful. After that, that +2 knockoff crits me, and ends up taking me out right there. So there goes Goodra, just like that. I bring in Barbaracle, and upon retrospect, it was probably a bad idea. He uses knockoff, does a ton of damage, and I try to go for the Shell Smash, but Crawdon does have Aqua Jet, so that means the priority is going to slip. I was just thinking that with the trick, it might not have priority, it might just have Waterfall, but I found out the hard way that it doesn't. I go into Togekiss, which is pretty much my last chance at salvaging this game. There's the Air Slash, and I get the flinch, which is like absolutely needed in this situation. So Aqua Jet doesn't KO me, even with that +2 boost, and then I'm able to use Air Slash one more time with just very fortunate results. After that, Roserade comes in, I get another flinch on a huge super effective hit, almost close to a KO. He has to withdraw and go into the Arcanine. Now, Arcanine is a bulky Pokemon. My Air Slash is doing nothing. He avoids the next Air Slash. I get Will-O-Wisp, which means that all he has to really do is heal through my times when I'm not flinching him. Like, you know, if he flinched right here, it would have been better. But no, he gets the Morning Sun, and now I'm just waiting to go down to Burn, which is incredibly unfortunate. He gets the Extreme Speed and picks me off on the damage right there. I bring in Snorlax. And this is where it starts getting crazy, because this is my, let's see, which Snorlax is that? I believe this is my Ice Punch Snorlax. I've run all kinds of Snorlax that it's generally, I have Stockpile, Belly Drum, or I have Curse Amnesia, Rest, and then one offensive move. My offensive move changes all the time because Ice Punch is good against dragons, Fire Punch is good against Ferrothorn, Scizor, and a lot of other Pokemon, but it's walled out by Heatran and other Pokemon with Flash Fire, like this Arcanine probably has. And then I have Crunch, but then Crunch gets walled out by Scizor and Ferrothorn and Heatran. So sometimes it's really hard to come up with something that works on Snorlax, and I just kind of play around with that fourth moveset a lot. This time, I'm sitting on Ice Punch, and it's not going to go so well because a lot of his team walls out my Ice Punch. So now begins the longest stall battle I've ever been in, because when I've dedicated this much to Snorlax, I don't want to switch it back out. Even though I'm at full health, I want to keep testing with the damage, and here I am almost at max attack, doing less than a quarter, or about a quarter of Miltank's health. So, Miltank uses Heal Bell. I don't feel like I had any statuses on anyone. But anyway, I'm just like trying to use my tankiness to hit harder and more often. So, Amnesia comes in on Snorlax, and Roserade goes for the Rest, which is crazy, but I do get my Ice Punch for the super effective finish off. I don't think the crit really mattered there. So, my idea is, well, as I'm trying to like get ready for all the threats, I can just kind of keep statting up. So I can handle pretty much the rest of his team really well defensively, but offensively, as you can see, I'm not really doing anything. Even though I'm only taking 4%, I'm putting out about 25%, 20-ish% back, but it can just be healed up, just like how I can heal it back up as well. I'm worried about a crit. He doesn't have to worry about a crit as much. So right now the game is really kind of falling down for me, and it's not that good. At this point in the game, I say, I think this is going to go on another 50 turns. So let's just, you know, save you guys some time right now. And let's hop over to turn, let's see, 50 turns away would be turn 83. And yeah, now his Scizor's in. I was able to take out his Clefable at some point, because I think I got like a lucky crit or freeze, and then some craziness happened. But right now, I am really low. Either I'm out of Ice Punch at this point, and I'm just going to use Evasion until I struggle myself to death and hope for some kind of random crit. Like if I can struggle crit, that might give me enough stab and extra damage to do something. But at this point, you know, I'm just really conserving my rest for when I absolutely need it. Using Amnesia because I'm out of Curse and I'm out of Ice Beam at this point, I believe. Or I only have a couple of Curse back. And yeah, it's just really a crazy thing. Now, the interesting thing is his Scizor set. It has like Thief, Agility, Bug Bite, or something like that. Like, it's a very off Scizor set. If it had Swords Dance, it would have been a lot more of a problem for me. But since it doesn't, then game kept going. This is a tanky Scizor with defog level craziness, so he's like lowering my evasion, and we're just loving it in the chat. Like, people started coming in because this battle started going on for so long, and it got really funny. Like, one of the guys, Seasons, he's actually the infamous Wolf King Verlis that laddered for that laddered in my honor for the Mawile ban. So he did that. One Coffee became like just a hilarious kind of guy. We ended up talking for battles after this one, and other people were coming in and just being like, "What is going on with this battle?" And it just got kind of crazy overall. So let's just hop around. Let's we're at turn 102 right now, so let's go to like turn 110. Just try to jump ahead. And at this point, he realizes it's easy for him to do what he needs to do. He's just going to keep cycling through switches. His Arcanine is going to intimidate me every other turn and lower my attack even further. And then Amnesia, I'm using it regardless of whether or not he switches. So I'm able to. He's going to burn me down through my PP. And this game, let's see, we're on turn 114. We were pretty much trying to like do it as rapid fire as possible. But at the same time, you know, this game was still lasting like almost an hour, probably over an hour at this point, considering it takes maybe 30 seconds per turn. Like, we were just here, and we started having fun because so many people were in the chat, and it just got really entertaining. So now his Flare Blitz is starting to hurt him, and I'm like, well, now I'm down to just rest, so that means I'm going to wake up, and then I'm only going to be able to rest, and at some point, I'm going to be able to struggle and eventually knock myself out. So the dream is real for the opponent, it feels. And once I knew that Snorlax was in, it was just kind of like a mistake. That I didn't realize the tankiness of his team. I thought Ice Punch would at least do like a third or half to Milk Tank, and that Arcanine wouldn't be like super Morning Sun tanky, but what can I do? So I'm still asleep. We're starting to get to this point. We're at turn 124 right now. And we're about to make history because this is the first time this has ever happened to me. I've run Snorlax, and I've never been put in such a tanky stall situation to where I've run out of PP. Like, a lot of people are saying, like, why do you only have one move on Snorlax? Well, this has never happened before. So that's just one of the interesting things that ends up coming to with this. I still have, like, my rest is failing now because he's just not even going to let me, you know, use the 3 turns for rest because he's using Heal Bell and not damaging me. So my attack is down to, it's going to be down to nothing here. I have a high amount of defense, but it doesn't matter, and I'm going to burn through the last of my PP here. Like, history is about to be made. The struggle is real. I take a quarter of my health in recoil, and that's just how this works. So I'm doing very little. Like, if he didn't wise up and do the Intimidate, which was like an incredible idea on his part, I might have been able to KO Miltank, like if I got a lucky crit or something. But yeah, so that's the struggle. I go down, and Klefki's useless. It still has the choice band, so in comes Medicham. And Medicham goes for the fake out, and I realize, wait a second, I might actually have this. Like, I've seen all of the other moves that his Pokemon have. Really, all that happens is if High Jump Kick misses, the game's over. So I go in, one-hit KO the Miltank, one-hit KO the Scizor. All I have to do is survive the Arcanine, get that KO, and the last... God, it was like 100 turns that Snorlax was on the field. Maybe even longer than 100 turns that Snorlax was on the field because I used all of the PP up. And then all it took was Medicham to come in. I could have like switched into Klefki, sack off Klefki, and then Medicham. But everyone was having too much fun being too stubborn. So I ended up taking that battle after, oh god, like 139 turns. So it was a fun battle. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Just crazy happenings that happened in the battles. And I hope you all have a nice day.